All right, we are live. Welcome back to the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. Week 4 is coming in hot. Unfortunately, T Gods could not make this one. He's feeling a bit under the weather today. So it's just me, Matt, and Q.
Can't
Uh,
prepare for this game.
I miss you, T Gods. I'm thinking
yeah,
of you. You're
I'm
here
thinking
in
of T Gods
spirit.
too. He's here in spirit. We definitely miss him. Hopefully, he's better for
He's
next
not
week.
dead.
Well, he's not here. So to everyone else, it seems like he's dead.
That's
Anyways,
fucked up.
anyways, we have reached the quarter way of the season.
Don't say that.
In fantasy, after 3 weeks, I believe it's time to start discussing trades. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Definitely.
We talked about it last podcast. Me and you already made a trade, Sean.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's trade season. So if you guys need any trade advice, make sure to let us know in the chat and we will definitely help you out. We also made a Discord, another announcement. So exclamation point Discord if you are live in the chat, or if you're definitely press that. You can join from the link there. If you're watching or listening afterwards on YouTube or on Instagram or wherever you see this, make sure to just visit our social media. The link will be in the bio.
We send cute pictures of each other in it.
Yeah, you can check it out there. You can ask questions there. We'll give any advice there as well. So make sure to join that. All right, let's get into it. Cap or no cap?
Oh,
Every week we'll be starting off with this, of course. So let's start
you
with the first
love
one
to see
here.
it. You love to see it.
Take your cap off if it's cap or no cap.
All right.
All
I
of
got
it.
you. I got to take my whole fucking headset off and
Never mind.
All right, let's start with the first
NVN.
one here. Sean McVay says, I think so, when asked about Darrell Henderson starting after his recent performance. Do you think Darrell Henderson will be the go-to guy in this back moving forward?
I don't see why not.
I think he'll be the starter. This is cap. I mean, okay, this is no cap technically because he's going to be starter next week, but will it be cap in the future? Probably, because that doesn't sound like a very confident answer.
Yeah, he did sound a little bit like indifferent about it. It seems like he still wants to stick with this rotation, and I think when Cam Akers gets back, he's going to take away from a little bit of that volume. But as of right now, it seems like Darrell Henderson's the guy. They're playing the Giants. I think he's going to put up some big numbers this week if you have him start him.
He has by far been the most productive back in that backfield, especially
Surprisingly.
with Cam Akers out.
Back to
But
back.
once he comes back, I see that volume taking a down tick.
And coming into the season, honestly thought he was the most irrelevant back in LA. But this week I have him at 20. I think he's definitely going to have a top 20 performance.
Yeah, he was definitely slept on in the preseason. Last season, was when he got all that hype, saying that he was going to overtake Todd Gurley or something like that, and it just never really amounted to anything. But he was still, I think, first or second round talent.
Got an
So
alfalfa.
he's pretty good. All right, Matt, enjoy your alfalfa. Hopefully, you can put that cap back.
Put that
on
cap
soon
back
to hide
on.
that.
Give me some cat.
All right, Russell Wilson is the number one quarterback moving forward.
My
after
cap
14
is staying
touchdowns
off.
in 3 games.
The cat is staying off.
Apparently, we were very biased the last episode, some of us. But I have to say, no cap as a Russ owner. Honestly, when I drafted him, I wasn't as feeling like the best because like he's had his off games, knock on wood. So far he's literally been the MVP. I think his receivers are definitely the best he's had in a long time with DK and Lockett.
I completely agree with that.
And he has some good matchups coming up. I think there's a very strong possibility of him being finishing number one this year.
Yeah, I'm agree with you. No cap. Russell Wilson's the number one quarterback moving
Take
forward
your hat
right
off,
now.
son.
I like Russ.
What if he had no head there?
My hair just disappeared somehow.
Oh, shit.
All right, on to the next one. Robbie Anderson, currently wide receiver 7, will finish as a top 15 wide receiver.
Matt, put it
season.
back on. That's cap.
I'll let it sit right here because I'm not taking my headset off again.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's how high of a cap it is. That is so cap.
He could finish.
Robbie Anderson will not finish even the best receiver on his team, let alone top 15 throughout the whole league. No way.
I think he'll be. I wouldn't be surprised if he was outside top 20 by the end of the season.
Yeah,
That's just Robbie Anderson.
I wouldn't be surprised if he finished outside the top 30.
Same thing, or same here.
He's boomer bust. As of the first 3 weeks, he's been super good. So I still have faith in him. Obviously, I'm saying this is cap. I don't think he's going to finish top 15, but I think he can be a top 30 wide receiver, possibly top 25 if he keeps up continuous production. I think DJ Moore will end up finishing ahead of him, but I like Robbie Anderson. I'm not gonna say that I think he stinks. I think he's a pretty good wide receiver, legit NFL.
Why? Why do you think he's good?
Because he attended
I
Temple.
Oh my
University.
God! I need to keep the cap on. For
I wonder if Robbie
Anderson.
Anderson was a part of Matt Rule's 10-year contract. Like, I'm staying here 10 years, Robbie's staying here 10 years.
I highly doubt it, but he's definitely happy to be reunited. All right, next one here. Tyler Boyd is the true number one option on the Bengals right now and moving forward.
Surprisingly, but not surprisingly, that's no cap.
Hey, thank you, Sean.
Yeah, gotta say no cap. I'm with you there. Tyler Boyd has maybe not been getting all of the targets, but after a pretty slow week one, the last 2 weeks, he's become the main guy there.
I think it's no surprise. Like coming into the season, I think I was in denial because I'm like, AJ's back. I'm a big fan of AJ. He's going to take over a lot of the work that Boyd was getting, but doesn't seem to be that way at all.
Yeah, not even a little bit. I actually have Boyd ranked inside my top 20 this week.
Same here.
And AJ outside of my top 30. So
I got Boyd at 21, and I have AJ at 31. So I'm pretty much with you there, 10 spots apart. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. All right, let's move on to the next one here. James Robinson, been going crazy the past few weeks. Has he secured himself as a low-end running back one? Is this cap or no cap?
Cap. If that's all it takes for to be secured as a running back one, that's pretty. I think we're gonna need a couple more weeks from this. This week's definitely a good test for him, or not much of a test. They're playing the Dolphins, so give him that. I don't know if he's getting 40 like Matt's predicting, but
I did not say that.
But I think
my head looks huge with like this.
Load of cap in there.
Yeah, that is a pretty big cap.
Just
coming from someone who just go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, just to correct Q, James Robinson's playing the Bengals this week, not the Dolphins.
Easier.
Yeah, but he did go off against the Dolphins. I like James Robinson, but
Big
low end
choice.
RB1 is a little bit steep. I think he's
Very
probably
steep.
an RB2 right now. But he's got upside. I got him at 13 this week, so I'm confident on him. We'll talk.
I love
about
that
it
the hype went from Minshew to now Robinson. So maybe if Chark plays, he'll go back to him. But
I hope not.
I hope so. Just traded for him. So we mentioned that last podcast. All right, a couple more to get through here for cap or no cap. The Bucs backfield will be a timeshare all season long, and no one back will ever secure the number one role. Is this cap or no cap?
No cap.
I think the second part's cap. I think someone could secure the role, but they obviously need more than 1 or 2 consistent games. So I'm keeping my cap on for that part.
I just
Use
don't really
imaginary cap.
Right. I don't see a because the Bucs games have been weird, so I don't really see like a game plan where one really takes over the other. So I think it's definitely going to switch off a lot throughout the season, and if that's the case, then nobody's going to run away with the starting job.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just, I don't know. I don't feel like Fournette or Rojo has really shown that either of them are going to like dominate this backfield. I think they're both going to be involved.
I think if Fournette had a similar game to the week before when he had the 2 touchdowns, then I would say this backfield is what was his or his, but
that's what I said after week 2. I mean, after seeing that performance, I was like, are they going to go back to Rojo after fumbling, or are they going to just keep him out of it? And they went back to him. So they obviously have trust in him. And that's why I don't think there will be one true workhorse back in this backfield.
Right. Like I said last podcast, Ronald Jones was never like a really bad running back.
Mm-hmm.
People just knew who Fournette was, and when he came to Tampa Bay, they thought he was just going to take over.
Mm-hmm. All right. Tom Brady, currently quarterback 15, will finish the season outside the top 10 quarterbacks. Cap or no cap?
No cap. I think there's been like not too many, but a good amount of quarterbacks that are finding their way inside the top 10, like Minshew, Cam, Matt Ryan. Well, those are normal guys, but not Cam, but like Cam. Cam's not a normal guy. You didn't expect him to be a top 10 quarterback, but like Minshew, and Josh. No.
You could
All right.
even say Josh Allen. You could throw his name in there.
Yeah, we knew he'd be good, but
Because I don't think he was even drafted as a top 10 quarterback, was he? Maybe like number
Josh
9
Allen
or-
was. I think he was around top 10.
Like
I had
5
him
or
at like
6.
7.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
I think he was around anywhere from 7 to like 12, and 12 was like low.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Tom Brady, for me, I'm going to say no cap on this. I think he's going to be outside the top 10. I think he'll be around 10 to 15, probably like 12 or something. Like he's not going to disappear, but I don't think he's going to be that ADP where he was like drafting.
If he does
top
finish
7 quarterback.
If he does finish top 10, I wouldn't be surprised just because what he has around him.
Of course. Yeah.
We mention all the
talent around him.
time.
He has all the ingredients.
All right, last one here for cap or no cap. Jimmy Graham is back with Nick Foles at the helm and should be a weekly fantasy starter at tight end.
That's cap. We need to see that. We need to see a little bit more from Jimmy Graham because he could have an off week. Like he has been on and off and on and off. Now he has a more sturdy quarterback as Nick Foles, I think. But for now, it's definitely cap. I wouldn't be like start Jimmy Graham this week. It's a good matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's worth an ad. I think he's worth being there, like on your team, on your bench. But I want to see it happen a couple more weeks before I say Jimmy Graham should be a starter because we've seen Jimmy Graham be inconsistent for the past at least 2 to 3 seasons.
Right.
But if he's available, I would pick him up because it is
sure.
possible.
Definitely worth the bench spot, but I think the addition of Nick Foles into the offense instead of Trubisky definitely increases his value a little bit more.
I'm with you. All right, let's get into today's sponsor. Yet again, the Thrive Fantasy app for iOS and Android. We keep telling you week in and week out that you should be downloading this
Q
app.
is thirsty.
The Thrive Fantasy app is a daily fantasy sports app for setting up fantasy football lineups and trying to win some money. So if you download that Thrive Fantasy app today and deposit at least $20, you will receive an instant $50 bonus. So make sure you're using our promo code SUPERFB. That promo code is SUPERFB. So go check out this up-and-coming Thrive Fantasy app today. Download it, check it out, and see if it's worth your time. And, of course, it will be. Make sure to make that deposit.
As long as you don't suck and lose money.
It doesn't even have to be for football. I mean, the NBA finals are here. We're advertising basketball now, but you can get ready for game 2.
We are advertising a betting app.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, let's get into our game previews and rankings. Let's start with Thursday Night Football coming up in an hour or so here. Is this the worst football game ever?
Nope.
What's the worst football game ever? You got another one, Matt?
I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I'm sure that there's been a worse one.
You
I'll
remember
look
the
one up
worst
right
football
now.
game ever?
Is this the worst hype for a football game ever?
There is no hype for this football game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is like.
All right, yeah.
I don't wanna...
especially with no fans, like no nothing. It's gonna be so bland.
Yeah.
It's like eating a piece of bread, just straight.
I don't know if this is the real fact, but it may be like there's been a less than 10 times, maybe the first time 2 teams 0-3 have played a Thursday night primetime football game. And that could be wrong, but there has been like a very rare amount of teams that were defeated or have no wins that are playing on a primetime game.
How much digging did it take you to find that stat?
I heard it somewhere. So whoever said it, I could be wrong. I'm sorry.
You dug a hole to China to find that.
All right. We trust Q as a reliable source to an extent, so we'll take his word for it. 2 0-3 teams. One of them's going to win. I think the only reason you're invested.
What if they tie?
It could be 0-0.
We saw a tie last week, which was very weird. Could be 0-0.
Let's not talk about the tie.
Let's start on the Jets. Are you starting any Jets?
If you're in the 16-team league, maybe
the 32-team league.
maybe Berrios if Crowder's out.
Crowder was questionable. Berrios only if Crowder's out.
Frank like Gore if you're feeling sexy.
I'm just going to say
to make a long story short, you are not starting any Jets.
All right. Well, let's move on to the other side of the ball where maybe the team isn't that bad. Even though they're starting Ripien at quarterback, we'll see how this guy looks. We saw him a very little bit last week. We'll see how he does against a very poor Jets defense. Maybe he shows out. Maybe he's a good quarterback. We'll see. But do you feel confident starting Noah Fant or Jerry Jeudy this week?
Yeah, Jeudy.
Go ahead.
There we go. Judy.
You want to go? You want
his-
to hustle?
His
Come on,
first
Q.
game held without a touchdown, and I mean, other than that, his performance was obviously average with 9 points. I don't want to call him touchdown dependent, but he did have one in each of the first 2 games. So I would definitely put money on him scoring in this game with the lack of pass catchers that Broncos have. I do wish Blake Bortles was starting. I think he would
Why?
have his resurgence into the NFL against.
Blake Bortles
Stop.
had to have been the 4th string quarterback.
I haven't heard anything about
to
him
still not be
since he
playing.
signed. I haven't heard anything about him. I don't know.
They
What the-
actually
He's
were,
probably in like fucking Josh McCown's position where he's sitting at home just getting paid.
no, they were actually considering starting him. They just didn't think he would be able to be ready this week.
Oh,
On
he'd be
such a
ready.
short week. So
He's probably fat.
if Drew Lock ends up missing next week, we may see Blake Bortles. But let's stop talking about Blake Bortles. I think Fant is still a starter if you have him. He's been too good to bench him, no matter who the quarterback is. Jerry Jeudy, I'm a little bit nervous on just because I think the Broncos may end up in this game, and I think he'll be the second option on a team that doesn't have to throw much. I think he'll be involved, but I don't know if it's going to be like a huge game. Matt may disagree with me there, but
I do. I'm comfortable starting 3 of the Broncos offensive players.
and
that
that's
is
the
what
next
are
guy
you-
we're getting into, Melvin Gordon, right?
bingo.
Where do you guys have Melvin Gordon ranked against this putrid Jets run D?
26.
Wow, you're low on him. Not
Gordon.
I
confident.
think.
I mean, I'm right ahead of Q at 25.
I think
So-
if
Guess
what's
I'm
his name?
crazy.
Lindsey comes back, it will hurt him a bit. This could be an easy game for Lindsey as well. They could ease him back in against his easy team.
I do like Lindsey. I do think Lindsey would have somewhat of an impact, but I don't think he's going to come back and get that like workload that he was planning on
definitely
getting.
not.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
with the injury. I think this is still going to be the Melvin Gordon show, and like the Jets are just so bad. I got Melvin Gordon at 17.
Horrible.
I'm locking him in this week as a solid performer. find the
I'm
end zone.
comfortable starting Melvin Gordon as an RB2 this week, regardless of where I have him ranked. There's just like other players, better players with better matchups ahead of him.
I think
Yeah.
this will be very low scoring, which could cause the ball to be ran a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does do pretty well. Besides,
I wouldn't
being
be
against the
surprised if
Jets.
he gets 25 plus touches.
I think we were going to say points. So please, God, no.
Oh no.
All right. Well, we'll see how this game goes in about an hour or so. Should be a pretty boring one. We'll find
Super
out.
Bowl.
I am
definitely-
excited.
Definitely the opposite of the Super Bowl, the Pooper Bowl. All right, let's move into the next matchup here. New
We have to
Orleans
pick
Saints.
this game.
Oh yeah, we do have to pick it. I forgot about the pick 'em.
Wow.
Wow.
Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah.
Actually, give me Jets.
Oh my Q, you're so
I'm taking Darnold over.
Take them. Take the Jets. Take the Jets. I'll take the Broncos.
Give me the
Q.
Jets.
Put your helmet.
Jets defense is so
Last
good.
week, you guys bullied me into picking the Jaguars when I was going to go with Dolphins, and they lost.
So now he's mad about that. He's going more crazy this week
That's
and taking
fine.
the Jets.
I'm a
We
crazy
don't,
man.
we don't hold grudges over here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
Stay
apparently
okay.
Q does.
Take the Jets. I'll take the Broncos. We'll
That's
update
why
you
he's
guys-
wearing a Markel Fultz jersey.
We'll update you guys on our pick
no
'em
grudges.
standings.
All love.
Yeah, whatever. Markel Fultz. That's a horrible jersey, Q. I can't believe you own that still. Anyways,
That's the last time he was good. Just kidding. He's actually pretty decent.
anyways, we'll update you guys on the stats next week when T Gods is back. I know he's got all the stats for us, so as soon as he comes back, I'm sure
See,
his,
gods, we miss you.
we do miss T Gods. We will make sure we keep his picks as well. He'll be picking every game behind the scenes with us here, so he'll definitely be up to date. I know he was in first last week, so we'll see how that goes this week. As I was saying, let's get into the
That's
next
not a good
game.
sign.
New Orleans Saints at the Detroit Lions. Let's talk about the best player on both of these teams, Michael Thomas. His health.
Whoa, wait. Are you calling Michael Thomas the best player on the Saints offense?
As actually, yeah, you might be right. Kamara has been insane this year.
Come on.
It's close. It's close.
I
Whatever.
was
Michael
just
Thomas, the
making
best
the
wide
statement.
receiver from last season.
Okay.
His health.
I understand.
If he's playing, do you guys feel confident starting him? Do you think he'll be a decoy?
No, he was
I'm throwing him out there.
he was arguing to come, not arguing, but he was hoping to come back week 2, week 3. I think he's definitely going to be as healthy as Devontae Adams was supposed to be when he was supposed to come back. So he's not going to be a decoy. I think he's going to have a good first game back. Hopefully better than week 1.
If he's playing, they're gonna use him.
Yeah, I ranked him in case he plays. I have him at number 5. I think he's still locked in as a top 5 wide receiver. So
For sure.
all right, Kamara RB1, no doubt this week. You guys got him all as your
No
RB1.
doubt.
If you
Before
had,
the season even started, if you guys watched previous podcasts, I had Kamara as my fantasy MVP this year, and Sean is sick about it because his was probably Joe Mixon,
It
who
was
was
not Joe
absolute
Mixon.
dog shit.
I think it was Galladay, and he got hurt. So if I remember correctly,
I mean, he had a good first game back too, but well, I mean, we'll get into him. If week 2's game didn't figure lose your doubt that you may have had to Kamara coming in the season, which I had some, then week 3's performance was even better with the 45 points that he put up and that amazing touchdown run that he had, passing run.
insane.
But yeah, he's definitely RB1 with no Saquon. I know McCaffrey until who knows a couple more weeks. Definitely Kamara number 1 as far as I know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And for the quarterback of this team, if Michael Thomas does not play, are you starting Drew Brees?
He's been struggling without Michael Thomas.
Well, I mean, he had a pretty good game this past week. I think he had like 31 points. So
Yeah, he did have.
he had to keep up with Rodgers somehow.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know if he's going to be in much of a shootout with the Lions. It does have some shootout
It
potential.
could be with
Just
Galladay
because-
back,
Just because the Saints are always in shootouts, it could be a shootout.
and their defense isn't the greatest.
Breeze, they're ranked the 27th passing defense, so that could
Yeah.
be with Michael Thomas back. That'll only help.
But
But
you guys have Breeze ranked.
16.
Where do I have Breeze ranked? I have Breeze at
I got him at 14.
16.
All right, so we're all around the same spot. Like, you're not super
It
confident.
took
in
me a little
starting
bit
him.
to get down to him, so that's saying something.
Yeah, you're not super confident starting him, but if you have him, you can roll him out there. It's still a pretty good matchup. All right, on to the other side of the ball. Are you starting the other quarterback, Matt Stafford?
He's been low key. He's been balling out 2
He's
touchdowns
been
in the last 2
super
games.
solid.
And
Yeah.
Galladay return will only have him
Yeah.
throwing the ball more.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Sean. I'm
I was
sorry.
going to just say I'm confident in Matt Stafford with Galladay back. I think that just elevates that offense.
Biased.
I also think it helps Marvin Jones with Galladay on the other side. Galladay takes away some of that pressure. Marvin Jones can get open. So I think it just helps the offense in general. I
Yep.
like the Lions offense a little bit better.
That's just like if the Saints get MT back, it helps the entire offense. Just like how the Lions got Galladay back and it opened up so many more options for Stafford. He wasn't like, I'm pretty sure last week was his best game of the season with
Yeah,
Galladay back.
22 points.
Yeah. Where do you guys have Galladay ranked himself?
Golly. Where do I have
15.
Golly?
Yeah, I got him inside my top 15 as well. I got him at 14. So
That
I'm
was a-
confident in him being
That was a
I'm at
great first
13.
game back for him. Touchdown,
was.
and he got up for the
He
touchdown.
didn't miss a beat.
No, yeah, he was.
He
was
did
solid.
not miss a beat.
Yeah,
at
and he even
all.
said he wasn't feeling 100%. So if he feels any better this week, he could be
That's a
even
good
better.
sign.
Oof,
I
that
ha-
makes me feel good.
Yeah, I had him as a top 5 wide
She
receiver
said,
heading into the season. I had him as a top 5 wide receiver heading into the season. So I like me some Galladay. I'm happy he's back. One last thing here. Are any Lions running back you're confident in starting?
No,
Adrian Peterson.
you're not confident starting him.
As a flex, yes, why wouldn't I be? He had 22 touches last week. 22 touches. 'cause
22
I think
carries,
all of
yeah.
it. I think weren't all of his touches carries though.
Yeah, he doesn't get involved much in the passing
Yeah.
game. So
But still, even then,
I don't think they're gonna
although if this
running.
game turns into a shootout, then it gets a little bit suspect.
Mhm. I actually am pretty low. I would actually think the Lions end up falling behind and trying to keep up. So I have Swift actually ahead of him this week, despite the bad performance. I think it's going to be a pass-heavy game. So I got Swift at 35, AP at 39. Not really confident either, though.
I
Right.
agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's pick this game. Are you guys taking the Saints or the Lions?
I wish I can be like, if MT's back, then I'll go Saints. But if not, then I'm just gonna go.
That was like
Saints.
last week with
Yeah, I know.
Devontae Adams and Michael Thomas. But
No
I'm
ifs.
taking the Saints regardless.
Saints.
If
I'm
MT
taking the Saints
plays.
also. I think it's even though they're on the road and they don't play as well on the road, I still think Saints have to get this win.
Yep.
Too good of a team not to. All right, on to the next one here. Chargers at the Buccaneers. This should be an interesting matchup. Tom Brady, a good start this week. Are you feeling confident?
There's only a couple guys that I have under him. I have him ranked 17th this week. The only guys I wouldn't start over him are like Wentz and Teddy
Fitzpatrick.
Bridgewater. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wentz and Teddy.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, so I have him at 18.
Yeah. I have him at 16, so I'm not confident either. I just think this Charger secondary, they did lose Chris Harris, but without Chris Godwin, I think that just not marks the Buccaneers down a notch. They also may be without Scotty Miller. Even though he hadn't had such a huge impact, he's still another weapon they'll be down. I think Mike Evans is also on Casey Hayward Island, like I mentioned last week, who shut down TJ
Gronk.
Maybe it's another Gronk game. I still hate Gronk. I still am not confident in Gronk. So I think it ends up just being a bad passing day for the Buccaneers. I think it's going to be more maybe run heavy, maybe I don't know. But I think I'm not confident. Let's just be honest. Yeah, I'm not confident, Brady. Are you guys starting Ronald Jones or Fournette, or just letting them both rot until you see?
No.
So I saw news today that Fournette was absent for practice with like an ankle injury. So do I still feel good playing Ronald Jones? I guess better now with Fournette hurt, but either way, I probably wouldn't consider starting him.
Mm-hmm. I got them
don't
both
think
outside my top 30. So
Yeah,
I don't think I'm starting either of them until
I have him
somebody
at 30.
proves. Yeah, I have Fournette at 33. Didn't rank Ronald Jones because I think if a running back does have the better game, it is Fournette. But until I see one of them prove that they are the guy, I don't really feel comfortable starting either.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm not comfortable. If Fournette does sit out, though, Rojo is definitely an option.
Yeah, if Fournette's out, start Rojo.
Mm-hmm. And we already touched on Mike Evans a little bit. I know he's got a tough matchup, but do you think his stock's up without Godwin this week?
we've seen him with Godwin, we've seen him without. I think he's stock's definitely up this week.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to start him. All right, moving on to the other side of the ball. Eckler and Keenan are both locked in with Herbert. I feel like they're both going to be must starts week in and week out. Is
Yep.
Hunter Henry locked in for you guys at top 10?
Number 7, but last week the Bucks defense did hold Fant to only 9 points. So one who I think is more talented than Henry, and he was locked down. So I wouldn't expect much more from Henry, but you never know. Herbert, the Sherbert, has exploded this offense.
Yeah, I'm going to say I got Henry at 6. I'm confident in him.
Yeah.
He's been solid. He's been getting a lot of targets. So I'm definitely starting him, rolling him out there every week.
I
as
have
long as he's
Henry
healthy.
at 7. I don't see anybody getting more targets than him aside from Keenan and Eckler.
Yep. All right, let's pick this one. Chargers at Bucks. You guys got?
Bucks.
Buccaneers.
I do think it'll be close though.
Buckaroos.
I'm going to take the Buccaneers. I'm not going to play.
I do
Don't-
like Herbert.
Don't get cute, Sean.
I'm
I
trying
got
not to.
I got cute for Thursday.
You're already too cute.
Oh, thanks.
Not what my sign said yesterday, but still.
Yeah, that was very nice, Matt. I
Sorry.
was not happy about that.
It was funny.
Okay, whatever. All right, on to the next one here. Jaguars at Bengals.
Ugh.
Another kind of stinky matchup, but has
This one's
some-
going to fall under the radar.
I think it has some shootout potential.
It definitely does have potential. I was going to
Yeah.
say that.
It's got more potential than Thursday tonight.
For
Definitely
sure.
got more potential than tonight. So, James Robinson's on fire. What do you guys have him ranked for this week?
James
17.
Robinson. Where do I got
I
him?
need a little
Where do I
more
got
from
him
him.
at? I got him at 14. So he's for me, he's an RB2 this week.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got him at 13. I think he's right there as a high-end RB2 this week. Cincinnati defense stinks. He's had 50 points in the last 2 games. I think you have to start him against his defense. So
Yep.
I think he's going to show that he's pretty reliable at this point, as long as they're not. Even when they were down, he showed he could play. So I'm
Yeah.
not nervous about him.
I don't think you can bench him coming off of a 20-point and then a 30-point performance.
Yeah, you got to
That's
expect
just
40.
absurd. You
Dude,
gotta expect 40.
I was gonna say, are you expecting the 30 or 20 again? That's a
No.
lot of points.
I'm expecting at least what he's projected, which is 13.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm with you on that. All right, is this a bounce back game for Gardner Minshew? Did you guys rank him similar to last week, or did you drop him a bit?
We still need to find out who ranked him in the top 6 last
All right,
week.
I'll take the blame for that. I'm pretty sure it was me. I think I had him at 7 or 8. But this week I have him outside of my top 10 at 12.
Yeah, I
I think
also have him
he
at 12.
definitely does have a bounce back game. But I mean, as you saw, you kind of gotta temper expectations on him. Although he didn't have Chark last week, and he's getting him back this week, so that's definitely a plus for him.
Yeah, I think he'll have another week 1 or 2 performance.
Yeah.
I have him at 17 just because I'm angry. I started him last week, and so
What happened to not holding
Sean
grudges
does
over there?
hold grudges.
that's just a grudge. I'm
Sean
gonna
does
be
hold
honest.
grudges.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm mad about it. Gardner Minshew, you messed me up last week, but it's all right. I did get the win, so I can't complain too much. Obviously, we did just mention DJ Chark being healthy. Are you guys starting him too? Do you guys have him in the top 30?
Yeah, you're definitely starting him if you're healthy. If he's healthy.
If you're healthy, you're starting him. That is correct. 'Cause if you're sitting ahead, maybe you'll bench him.
Yeah, make sure you're breathing.
Do you think he got to starting him if he had him? He's not healthy right now.
That's true. T-Gots might be benching him this
Yeah,
week.
you might have to bench DJ Chark.
I have
He's
him
sick.
at 30.
Yeah, I have him as a low end wide receiver 2 at 24.
Yeah, I got him a little bit lower. Matt's probably the highest of all of us here. I got him at 32. So
I like DJ Chark. He's a good receiver.
I like him too. I
And
traded
Minshew
for him.
isn't the worst quarterback. Right.
Yeah.
Wentz might be.
I just want to see Minshew bounce back,
The
and I want to see
worst?
Chark get more
I'm just
involved.
kidding.
So that's the only concern I would have there. All right, moving on to the other side of the ball. Is Joe Burrow a viable starter after some pretty decent games thus far?
Yeah, I think we've seen enough to
I've-
consider him starter.
Depending on matchup, I think I'm comfortable starting Joe Burrow most weeks.
Yeah.
I'm
with you.
ranked in my top 15 this week.
Yep. I got him right at 15. So
Yep.
I'm with you there too.
I
He
got
does
him
seem to be
right.
running for his life a lot. You did see him take some crazy hits.
You saw that in the preseason where he was just
Yeah.
running from his defensive
So he-
line in practice.
He
Yeah.
is good off the run, but you don't like him taking those hits after the throw is thrown.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
young, though. He can eat them.
Yeah, exactly. I like Burrow a lot. Let's talk about their wide receivers. Let's rank the three. Where do you guys have the 3 wide receivers ranked for the Bengals this week? So that would be Tyler Boyd, AJ Green, and T. Higgins.
Boyd
Well-
at 17, Green at 27, and actually I like Green at 33, and then I don't have T. Higgins ranked because I still don't think he's an option to start unless like you're desperate, like we mentioned
Yeah.
before.
I need to see a little more from T. Higgins, but like Q said, I have Boyd at 17. I'm a little. Wait, where did you say you have AJ ranked?
It's gotta be
33.
Out of 33.
All right, so I guess I copy and pasted Q's ranks because I have Boyd 17, AJ 33, and I did not rank T. Higgins.
All right, well, you guys are piggybacking off each other. I have Boyd 21, AJ 31. I have T. Higgins at 52. So yeah, pretty much not really an option to start unless you're
Yeah.
desperate.
Mhm.
I would agree with both you guys. AJ Green's still getting that volume. I think he's still somewhat of a flex option, although a risky
At
one.
best.
And Joe Mixon has struggled a lot, but I'm going to say right now, this is breakout week. The Jaguars, he's scoring a touchdown. He's getting at least 18 fantasy points this week.
At least.
I'd
At
say
least 18.
15.
I'm writing it down, Sean.
Write it down.
Noting.
Write it down. He's going to have at least 18 this week. This is Joe Mixon's game where people
Joe
are going to be
Mixon,
benching him because they're upset at him, and he's going to
15
prove them
points.
wrong.
I don't think you're benching him, but you definitely lower expectations substantially.
You don't bench Joe Mixon.
I have him at 11. I have him ahead of a few guys that could possibly do better than him, but
Mhm.
I
Got
don't
him-
know
got
why I
him at
have him so
16.
high.
I'm even lower than you.
I have him at 12. So he's
Wow,
a
you're both higher than me.
I'm just gonna take him out of my ranks.
Not ranked.
I still think he has a good game. I like Joe Mixon this week. So, all right, let's pick this game: Bengals or Jags.
Bengals.
Jags.
I forget who I had.
How do you forget?
Let me check real quick. All right, I got Jags. I'm with the Jags. Minshew, bounce back.
Minshew Mania, baby.
Hopefully T got to pick Bengals also.
Don't think this
James
is Burrow's.
Robinson.
I don't think this is Burrow's first win. All right, let's move on to the next one. Vikings at Texans, the battle of the 0-3 teams heading into the season. Probably did not expect both of these teams to be sitting at 0-3.
For sure.
But this should be a good game anyways, despite the records for these teams. Is this Deshaun Watson's breakout game?
Well, he's gotten through the toughest part of his schedule. I think it's bound to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that this week. I do have him ranked inside my top 10 at number 9. I'm still a little iffy because the receivers they're not as the best. But he has been working with them. I think he'll have a solid performance.
I do think this is D-Watt's breakout game. I'm a little higher on him than Q is. I have him ranked at number 7. I think that if he has like a healthy Will Fuller, a healthy Brandon Cooks, David Johnson behind him, I think, and even Jordan Akins.
Randall Cobb.
And Randall Cobb. He's been sneaky this year.
Mhm.
I've seen
Drafted
him, but I think that Deshaun Watson has a very good game this game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right in between you guys. I got him at 8. I'm confident in Deshaun Watson. I think if you have him this week, you're definitely starting him.
Roll him out there.
Roll him out there. Do we all have David Johnson locked in as pretty much an RB2 again this week versus Minnesota?
I feel like every week, him, Gurley, Gordon, I have them all ranked around the same area every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have him at 22.
I got him at 20.
I got him at 22, Sean.
I think he has a potential breakout game here too, just because we've seen Aaron Jones torch this defense. I think it could be David Johnson's turn to show what he's got. So definitely start David Johnson if you got him. But aside from Will Fuller, is there any pass catchers you would start for the Texans?
Brandon Cooks, maybe. He had a touchdown last week.
If you're desperate, Jordan Akins.
Yeah.
At tight end.
Yeah, I'm not confident in Brandon Cooks or Jordan Akins, but I think both of them are like desperate plays. I got Cooks at 42, so he's an option, but not super confident. Even though I do think Deshaun Watson blows up, so somebody's gonna end up in the end zone. It could end up being like
or
Kenny
Deshaun
Stills.
Watson could just run it himself.
Yeah, that too. We shall see. Let's move on to the other side of the ball. Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen are obviously still locked in as starters. I think Dalvin Cook's probably locked in top 5 this week, if not top 3. Adam Thielen, he has slowed down a bit, but you're not benching him, especially against the Texans secondary. Even though Q thinks Adam Thielen is somehow not like matchup proof, I think you're starting him no matter what.
Yeah.
Aside from them, the only other guy that you probably consider starting would be Justin Jefferson after this big week. Did you guys rank him? Would you guys feel comfortable starting?
I do not have him ranked because I'm still not sold on him, but that was a pretty impressive week 3 performance.
That was very impressive. I was very surprised by it, which is the reason that I don't have him ranked this week, just because I would like to see it continue before I jump the gun on people. I don't like just jumping to conclusions on a player. I need like a larger sample size than just one game.
I'm with you. I got him at 47, so he's a flex option at best, more of a wide receiver 4 if you're playing in like a deeper league or something, but I'm not jumping to start him this week. All right, who you guys picking in this game? Vikings, Texans.
Last week,
I'm going Texans. Vikings. Vikings for me.
Okay. Last week, I said the Texans weren't going 0-3. They went 0-3. But
say they're not going 0-4.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing about the Texans not going 0-3. I also said the Vikings weren't going 0-3. Now
they both went 0-3. One of them's not going 0-4, and the one that's going 1-3 is the Minnesota Vikings.
Nope. I am going Texans in this one. I am sticking with them, even though they burnt me last week. They gave the Steelers a pretty good run for their money. I think they're the better team. I think they end up pulling out.
Q, I need you to root for Dalvin Thielen for me.
Sure. I'm rooting for their team as a whole.
Sure.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Seahawks at Dolphins. This one has extreme blowout potential as the Seahawks.
Dolphins blowing the Seahawks out.
Whoa, good one, dude. No,
that was my joke of the week.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Anyways, the Seahawks, obviously you're starting Russell Wilson. Obviously you're starting Lockett and Metcalf. If Chris Carson plays, there's still a chance he's possibly out. He did practice in a limited fashion. If Carson plays, he's locked in as well as a starter. If he does not play, you guys confident in starting Carlos Hyde?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I have Carson ranked at number 10. Obviously, if Hyde's in, I'm not ranking him at number 10, but I would expect a pretty large production from Hyde, who's passing catching ability, and he's a big guy. You run through the tackles against this struggling Dolphins defense.
Yeah. I think Hyde becomes a top 30, top 25 play if Carson is out. I think he's definitely worth a look. But if Carson does play, I have him at 11 too. So I would hope he plays. Despite that, weird injury last week. I would hope
Scumbag.
he's still out there. I would roll him out there.
I think he was over my shoulder while we were making rankings because I have Carson at 10 as well if he plays. And I do not have Carlos Hyde ranked because I expect Carson to play.
I
He
hope
did
so.
practice today, limited, or practice yesterday, limited. So good sign.
Good
Mhm.
sign. Great sign.
Let's move on to the other side of the ball here. Miles Gaskin had a huge game, pretty much one of his career breakout games. Where do you guys have him ranked this week?
Gaskin. I'm still.
23.
I love the man, but
I have him at 23.
I'm at 24.
I got him at 29. So I'm the least confident out of us. The only thing that worries me, obviously, is he's not going to get the same volume he saw while the Dolphins were up 28-13 or whatever they were on the Jaguars.
I mean, he's pretty good pass catching. He's not going to get the goal line carries. That still seems to be Jordan Howard's job, obviously. But
Is Jordan
Gaskin's-
Howard out this week?
is he?
I don't think so.
Well, we'll worry about that later.
Well,
no,
yeah.
he's healthy.
forget the question.
He's healthy.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
Who said he was out?
Matt, apparently.
It
No,
was a
like,
question.
why would he be out?
I thought he was hurt.
Matt scares the whole podcast thinking that we're making wrong takes. Anyways, yeah, Miles Gaskin, I think he'll definitely be involved. I just don't know if he gets that same volume. It's the only concern I have. I still have him as a solid flex option.
For sure. The only reason I thought Jordan Howard was hurt because of the volume that Gaskin got last week.
Well, yeah, Brady got the same amount of carries. You think he's hurt too? They just suck.
Yeah.
Big truz.
One more person to talk about on the Dolphins, Devontae Parker. It seems that he's solidified himself back as the solid number one on that team. Where do you guys have him ranked?
Good for him.
D-Park. I know I had him.
I have him
high.
at 23. So in front of
24.
OBJ.
Yeah.
I have him right behind OBJ, actually.
I have him at 22 right in front of OBJ at 23. So we're all kind of in the same area there.
Preston Williams is officially droppable.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I wouldn't be scared to drop him. I think he's worth owning if you still have him holding on to, just because I think they'll be down in more games and they're going to have to throw more. But I definitely like Devontae Parker more.
Yeah. And I was the biggest Devontae Parker hater coming into the season, but he's a good receiver.
Yeah,
I must
agree.
say. When he's healthy.
Pretty good receiver.
When he's healthy.
When he's healthy. All right. Let's pick this one. Let's not pick this one. We're all taking the Seahawks, correct?
Yes.
Way to make an ass out of you and me.
Shut up.
I'm
Matt. You're
taking the
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Always with the frickin' frackin'. Anyway,
Freaking frack.
let's move on to the next game here.
Q-Sip.
No, not Broncos. I meant
Uh.
Browns at the Cowboys. The Broncos are playing tonight.
Oh, man.
Let's start with the Browns. We talk about the Browns every episode of every podcast because we have to.
They have so much talent, but yet they suck so much.
They actually don't necessarily suck right now, right? I mean, they are 2-1. They got a winning record.
Okay. That is saying a lot.
But
Saying a lot.
let's just start with the running backs. Chubb and Hunt both locked in as must starts. I
Both
think you
top
have to
10
start both
players.
of them. Both top
Raheem
20.
must starts.
Yeah, right. Okay. But as for the wide receivers, do you think this is a pretty good game for OBJ and Jarv to actually get more involved?
I think it's a bigger Jarv game. You said something earlier today when we were talking that just made me feel like, yeah, this is the game where people are going to bench Jarv and then he's going to have his breakout game.
Yeah.
This feels like it.
Yeah.
This is
Mike-
an OBJ game. Sorry.
It could be. He's definitely familiar with the Cowboys secondary. I'm pretty sure he had the catch against the Cowboys. So
Yep.
I think he's
That's
familiar
always good for.
with the stadium and everything. But I
That's
think
all
both
he's
have
known
good
for.
games. I think I just have a gut feeling that it's going to be a pretty good week for Jarvis Landry. But
Yeah.
I have a biased gut feeling as well.
This
so.
game, the Cowboys I feel like, are definitely going to go up big, and Baker's going to be forced to throw. And if he doesn't just throw interceptions like he's used to, I think Jarv and OBJ both have potential to have very big games. And if you have to start one of the running backs, I would say start Kareem Hunt.
Definitely.
I would agree. All right. On the other side of the ball, Dak and Zeke pretty much locked in. Zeke's top 2 running back
Both
for
top
us.
five. Both
I
top
got
five.
Zeke too. And Dak, I got him top 5 as well. I got
Oh,
Dak at
sorry.
4.
No, I have Dak at 8.
I have Dak
I
at
lied.
6.
Yeah, I have Dak at 4. I like Dak this week. Cleveland secondary is not very good, so
At all.
not worried about him. Let's just move on to their wide receivers. How do you have them ranked? I'm pretty sure we all would have Cooper pretty high, but when it comes to the CD Lamb, Michael Gallup debate, where do you guys have them?
I have Coop at 20, so I'm not as high as you guys might be.
Wow,
I have him
that's
at
low.
18.
Wow, you're both low on Amari Cooper. I
'Cause
have Amari Cooper at 10.
I have Gallup low. I have Gallup at 30, and I didn't even rank CD.
I have him at
I
36.
think they're just going to go up this game, and they're just going to feed Zeke.
Coop has
I
had
think
some.
this.
Go.
Go ahead.
Coop's
was
had
gonna
some
say-
pretty. Cooper's had some pretty solid games that no one really is talking about. I guess I don't know if they're expecting more out of him, but he had 100 yards week 2, and then another great performance week 3. Maybe all the mouths feeding that needed to be fed, maybe scaring people away, but he's getting his.
I mean, they've been in a lot of shootouts, so they've had to throw a lot. This game might be the game where they don't throw as much, but Cooper's been super consistent. He had 18, 16, 17 PPR points, so I'm not worried about him. I have him still locked in as a top 10. I think he's still going to get around that. The other two guys would be the ones I would be a little bit worried about their volume dropping a little bit. I have Gallup at 28, and I have CD Lamb at 33. So I think they're both startable flexes, but this week one of them may end up not getting fed just because they may be up so big.
Someone's
I
getting
see
hungry after this
that-
game.
This has potential to be Zeke's best game of the season.
Let's hope so. I have Zeke, so
Shut up, Sean. I was talking to Q.
let's pick this game. Browns or Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I'm ashamed to say it, but yeah.
Yeah, me too. All right. On to the next game here. Cardinals at Panthers. Should be an interesting one, to say the least, as the Panthers got an upset last week. Mike Davis had a pretty huge week. Do you want to start him this week?
Yeah, I think he proved himself that game that he is very involved in the offense. The touchdown that he had was pretty impressive. It was like a screen play, I think, where he had to run a couple yards. But yeah, Mike Davis, as long as you have him, or as long as he's starting, you're starting. Like as long as McCaffrey's out, you're starting him with confidence.
As long as Mike Davis is starting, you are starting Mike Davis. Is what Q was trying to say.
Yep, I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
We have seen Robbie Anderson go off. I know we mentioned it earlier. You guys,
Robbie Anderson.
would you guys consider ranking him over DJ Moore at this point or no?
No.
No, I'm with you guys. I have DJ Moore at 15. I have Robbie Anderson at 27. So I think both starters. I still like DJ Moore more.
more.
I still like DJ Moore as the go-to guy.
You wanted to say more again.
On the other side of the ball, the Cardinals. Do you guys have Kyler inside your top 5 this week or outside?
Kyler,
I have him
him
at number
right
5.
outside at number 6.
I'm actually the lowest on Kyler. Shockingly, I have him
Wow.
at 7. I did let Aaron Rodgers, Dak, and Josh Allen squeak ahead of him this
I
week.
appreciate that.
I like all of their matchups just a little bit better. Carolina's defense has been surprisingly okay. So I'm not scared of them for any reason. I think you're definitely starting Kyler if you have him. But that would be the only thing that would scare me just the slightest bit.
Except for you, Gator. Start Foles this week. He's gonna go off.
Yeah, Gator. Foles, good week for him.
Yeah. Swing A-Rob.
All right. Anyways, is this a Kenyon Drake bounce back week?
We talked about in the last pod. He's been getting 16 plus touches the last couple of games. I mean, he's bound to go off. He's playing a Cardinals or a Panthers defense that has allowed good games to running backs. I think that it will continue. Drake hopefully bounces back this week.
I mean, if you play the scratch offs enough time, you're bound to win one. But in the end, is it worth it?
I'm going to ignore that
Probably.
analogy.
Probably
You're starting
not, because
Kenyon
you
Drake.
spend more money
Well, it depends
on
on
the
how much you're
scratch
winning.
offs than you do
You're-
winning.
Are you
I
not
don't
starting
win.
Kenyon Drake?
Yeah.
I'm,
what
I'm
are you
starting
getting at?
Kenyon Drake.
What are you
but
getting at here?
You drafted him way too high.
Yeah. Okay. I can agree with that. I got Kenyon Drake at 12. I'm confident in him. I think it's a pretty good week for him. Aside from DeAndre Hopkins, are there any startable pass catchers on the Cardinals? If with or
Hopkins.
without Christian Kirk.
Well, I learned that even without Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald is not relevant in that offense.
You should have listened, Kiwi tried to tell you.
One
And,
catch for 0 yards.
I'm considering that. I feel like that's a trend this year. A lot of players have had one catch for 0 yards. That's like
I
a
think-
hard thing to do. But
I think it was Christian Kirk.
Or
the
they've
last
had
time.
one
Yeah, it
catch for
was.
1 yard for 1 touchdown.
and then Fuller had one carry for 0 yards. So maybe Kirk, he's still questionable this week. We'll see how he is at the end of the week. Other than that, a deep flyer, someone you keep your eyes on though, is Andy Isabella. He had 2 touchdowns or a touchdown last Sunday. I just don't think that they want him on the field as much as he is.
I'm gonna sorry, my voice just like cracked. I don't know what just happened. But if I'm starting a pass catcher aside from D-Hop and I'm confident in it, it's actually the running back, and that's David Johnson.
Interesting. David Johnson.
Yeah, what game are you talking about?
Wait, I was like, that's why I was so
Oh
confused.
my God!
All right, let's just move on. Let's pick
I'm
this
fried.
game.
I'm
Cardinals
so
at
fried.
Panthers.
Cardinals. I didn't even say anything. I'm like, let's see if someone else
Cardinals.
catches
All right, I'm
it.
taking the Cardinals. I was like, I
All right,
actually was distracted because I just got a piece of news that Leonard Fournette could well be out this week, and it's looking like it's going to be Ronald Jones, the Rojo show. So Ronald Jones against the Chargers will definitely get a bump up if Fournette is going to be out.
Check the
Very
website. We'll
much
give you
so.
the updates.
Yeah, make sure to keep monitoring that obviously until Friday. But if Fournette is out, Ronald Jones is definitely a viable start.
I can't believe I just confused the 2 teams that made a trade for 2 players.
All right, next game here, Colts at the Bears. Is Jonathan Taylor locked in as a pretty much weekly starter? You set it and forget it.
He'll always be top 15. I have him at 15 this week. Did have a touchdown last week. Did it great the week 2. Yeah, definitely a set it and forget it guy, as he was supposed to be coming into the year.
Yeah, I'm still super high on him, even though he didn't do much against the Jets. He didn't have to. It was such a weird game. I have him at 8 against the Bears. I just think the volume is going to be there.
Yeah, I have him at 16. I'm still starting him regardless.
Yeah. Let's move on to a guy we've talked about a lot, T.Y. Hilton. Starting him at all?
Ranked 39th
I'm
this
not.
week.
I'm not.
I might feel
Uh,
better starting Pascal this week.
Yeah, I'm avoiding him this week. I got him at 34. I think they might have to throw more in this game. I just want to see it before I put him in my lineup. And tight end Mo Alley Cox has shown some promise. He's got 30 points in the last 2 weeks. Did you guys rank him? Do you guys like him this week?
I don't like him this week.
I have him at 17.
Yeah, I have him at 20.
Well, I mean,
I think Atkins will have a better game than him.
Akins.
Akins. Sorry.
It's all good.
But yeah, that's your son.
Not my son. I actually like Mo Alley Cox better. But yeah, I'm not too confident either. I got him at 20. But if you need a tight end to start, he could end up finding the end zone. Phil has shown a liking to him. On the other side of the ball, obviously, Allen Robinson must start, especially after last week where he exploded. Is Nick Foles startable? I know we joked about it earlier, but actually,
No, I don't have him
No.
ranked inside my top
No.
20.
There is easily, like, regardless of what number of team league you're in, that was like the worst tongue twister I've ever had. You are not starting Nick Foles.
yeah, I got him at 23. The Colts defense has looked super good, even though they haven't played like the most elite talent. They've just looked solid and impenetrable. So I don't know if Nick Foles is the one that breaks through there.
Impenetrable.
Yes, impenetrable. Last one to mention here, David Montgomery without Tariq Cohen. Did you guys bump him up any for that or keep him around the same area?
I still have him at
I have
20.
him as a flex. I have him at 27.
Yeah, I got him as a flex too. I got him at 25.
I'm trying to stay high on him because he's my RB2 right now.
Yeah, losing Saquon hurts.
Biased.
Yeah, biased. Anyways,
It works there.
Sean is the most biased on this podcast, though. Don't
I'm
let
not
him
biased
fool
at
you.
all, man. Come on.
All
Watch
let's
yesterday's
keep it
pod.
rolling.
Let's keep it rolling. Let's pick this game. Colts at the Bears. Who you guys got?
Ooh, it's
I got
the Colts. The Colts. They
I'm
win this game.
also taking the Colts.
I
Even
think-
though every time I pick the Colts, Philip Rivers destroys my life. I'm still taking the Colts.
give me the
That's
Bears.
like every year you drafted Philip
Hughes
Rivers.
taking the Bears, believing in Foles. I like it. I think this will be a close one. Bears are 3-0. I just don't see the Bears being a 4-0 team.
Yeah, that
Big
is true.
PP Nicky.
Yeah, big PP Nicky as As clean as we can get it. All right. The next game here, the Ravens at the football team.
Oh my God! Come on.
This actually might be the blowout of the week. I know we mentioned Seahawks at the
Next.
Dolphins, but is this Lamar's get right game after a poor, not necessarily poor, but a down couple of
No.
weeks that you expected from him?
Unless they run
Has
the
to
ball
be.
game.
Yeah, I got him as QB2. Only person I haven't had him is Russell Wilson, who's been
Yeah.
MVP this far. So
I have him at QB4 actually. I have
Still top
Russ. I have Russ, Josh Allen, and Mahomes. Not in that order.
I have all of them in my top 5 as well. So yeah, I'm with you there. I think Lamar bounces back, and I still think you're obviously starting Mark Andrews. He's had some drops. He's had some connection issues, but I think you're starting him. And Hollywood Brown, are you guys starting him? Are you guys still confident in him, or are you a little bit nervous? Did you drop him any? Where do you guys have him ranked?
Definitely not feeling as confident as the last game. I mean, but him being the first wide receiver on the team, you have to have some hope for him. I have him ranked at 29. So wide receiver 2, flex
Me too.
maybe. But still safest pass catcher I'm feeling good about is Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews. Yep. I
With you there.
agree.
I got Hollywood at 29 too. I'm just hoping that he catches a deep bomb into the end zone against Washington.
Which is possible.
I have him at
Definitely
31.
This might end up being a Ravens running game where they end up going up big and running the ball out in the second half. Are there any Ravens running backs you would feel confident in starting?
No.
Mark Ingram.
I still don't feel good starting any of them.
I would feel good starting Mark Ingram at my flex.
I wouldn't feel good about it, but if I had to, I would do it. I got Mark Ingram at 28 and I got Dobbins at 33. This might be the week Dobbins ends up getting more involved. We'll see, but I like both as like more desperate flexes.
Yeah.
Not super confident in them. On the other
Best
side of the ball,
matchup they'll get all year.
yeah, definitely, definitely a good matchup.
They play the Eagles. Well,
Anyways,
Don't disrespect us.
we did lose to the football team.
You're right.
Anyways, on the other side of the ball, it's pretty much just McLaurin and Gibson. You guys are looking to start. I'll talk about another football team member later. But McLaurin and Gibson, I still would just feel confident starting McLaurin. He hasn't had the biggest numbers, but if you got him as your flex, you're feeling
solid.
good.
You're
And
happy
this-
with him right where
I
he
was
is.
high on this defense, and then you saw what every receiver did for the Chiefs. But it is the Ravens
That's
stuff.
the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's still a tougher matchup. I downgraded him a little bit. I got him at 20, but I'm still confident in McLaurin.
Yeah.
And Antonio Gibson, he's shown some flashes. He's obviously the best, most talented running back in this backfield. I got him at 27.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect much from him. I'm at 28.
More of a flex play, but if you're desperate, you can slide him in RB2.
Yep.
All right, let's pick this one. Ravens at football team. Let's not pick this one. Let's just go to the next one. because
He
it's the
said,
Ravens.
let's pick this one. Let's not pick this one.
Yeah, we're on to the next one here. Giants at the Rams. Jeez, man, it feels like every game is going to be a
Oh my
blowout.
God,
It's
dude.
awful. The Giants have some injuries. They look really rough. Are you starting any Giants?
Evan Ingram
I think that's about it. Evan Ingram struggled again last week. I'm not
or
Yeah.
Darius Slayton. I am starting Darius Slayton.
Matt's still dying on this hill of Darius Slayton. He's got 6 fantasy points in each of the last 2 weeks. I'm not super confident on him either. Golden Tate hasn't done much. I want to see more from Freeman. I would say Ingram's the best start. I have
What
Ingram.
happened to Danny Dimes?
I got Ingram as my tight end 10. I still think he's around the top 10 option. But
Yeah,
If
I have him
Ingram
right at
sh-
number 9.
Yeah. If Ingram struggles this game, I would consider looking to move him. Or I don't know what you're going to get from him, but I'm losing faith in the Ingram.
yeah,
Ever since the Giants lost Saquon, that offense just went.
and that O line is terrible. Danny Dimes is running for his life. So
Please
I
call
don't like
Alfred
that team.
Morris after this game.
No, don't call Alfred Morris. He sucks. All
Huh?
right. Stop bringing up Alfred Morris and relevant players like Blake Bortles. Anyways, on the Rams side of the ball, is Goff a viable starter this week in a favorable matchup?
See,
He's done it 2 weeks in a row. Why not against the Giants?
Yep, I'm with you. I'm
that
starting
man
Goff.
is good.
Starting Goff, Woods, Cup, Higbee, pretty much locked in as starting options. Also, and we talked about Darrell Henderson a bit earlier. Where you guys actually have him ranked?
I have him ranked 20th this week.
I have him at 22.
And that would move up if Mostert is out.
Akers. If Akers is
Oh.
out.
Oh no. Oh, sorry. I mean in my ranks. If Mostert's out.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I got him at 22 as well.
Stop copying me.
So I am pretty confident on Darrell Henderson. But let's keep it rolling. Let's pick this one. Let's not pick this one.
Rams.
The Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, it's been a pretty easy week for picks.
Oh, T guys, you taking the Rams? Yeah, he's taking the Rams.
Been a pretty easy week for the picks thus far. We still got a few games to get through, so let's do that. Patriots at Chiefs, probably the best game of the week. Probably one of the tougher games to pick. Maybe we'll see. We'll talk about it. Cam and Edelman bounce back week.
Yeah, we saw when they were in a game, they had to throw the ball. Cam and Edelman were thriving.
Mm-hmm. I got Cam at top 10. I got Edelman as top 25. I like both.
Yep.
What Pats running back, if any, are you starting this week?
James White.
James White, if he plays. Don't be surprised if Rex Burkhead doesn't.
He is playing. He was back at practice today.
Okay, well then forget about Rex.
Well, not today, but yesterday.
Yeah.
I would say James White. If you picked up Damian Harris, obviously wait and see. You want to see if he gets involved, but James White, I think they're going to get him the ball a lot just because of what happened, the tragedy that happened. So James White, if you have him, he's worth a start. On the other side of the ball, Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, obviously all
start them all.
Studs.
Never ranking Mahomes outside of top 3.
You learned your lesson.
Him at 7 last week, and he went absolutely nuts. Said, "Don't ever disrespect me again." I got Mahomes at I think 3 this week. I think he's locked in pretty much as top 3 every week. Yeah. This whole offense is elite. Anyone else? Maybe Mecole Hardman. He actually started to show some signs last week. He had 6 targets. He caught a touchdown, had 18 fantasy points.
Could have had 2, but he dropped another one.
Yeah, he's still not playing the most snaps. Sammy Watkins is still getting a couple more snaps, but Mecole obviously has more explosiveness, upside, whatever. I'm not confident starting anyone else. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think after Tyreek Hill, all the receivers kind of get a little iffy, and you're not confident.
Dartboard.
Yeah, you're not confident in starting either of them.
Mm.
Any of them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not starting pretty much anyone aside from obviously the studs on
top 4.
So
4 for 4.
Pick them for this game. I picked against the Chiefs last week. I think I learned my lesson. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs. Sorry, Andy Reid.
Chiefs Kingdom.
Yep. Gotta take the Chiefs. All right.
Oh, next. Sean, I still need my 10.
Let's keep that on the low.
Maybe someone will donate the 10.
Yeah, maybe if we're lucky. Anyways, Bills at the Raiders. If they donate the 10, it's not going to Matt. It's going towards the podcast. I'm just going to clarify that.
I'd rather have the 10 in the podcast.
Yeah. Bills at the Raiders. Josh Allen, obviously pretty much locked in, must start quarterback after 3 straight weeks. I got him at 5. I think he's pretty much around top 5 every week.
Yep.
Singletary had a pretty good game, but Zach Moss may be back this week. I believe he was back at practice, at least in a limited fashion. So if he ends up being back and he ends up getting worked back in, I'm not as confident, but Singletary around that 20 mark for you guys.
I have him at 25.
Yeah, I actually am a little bit higher than you guys at 18, as if Zach Moss doesn't play. But if Moss does play, I'll move him down.
He did impress with Moss out.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
I mean, he was good last year with Frank Gore even there.
Yeah. Yeah, I still like Singletary. I still like his talent. He's going to be involved, especially in PPR. So, Diggs top 10.
I have him at 10
after he's been going crazy.
Give him some love, Sean. Give him some love. Why shouldn't he?
All right, my love for him is that he's in the top 20. I have him at 19.
I have Diggs at 14. He has definitely shown out with the opportunity that he is given. But
great quarterback.
Yeah.
Josh Allen. He gets a chef's kiss so far.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm definitely impressed with Diggs. John Brown, monitor his injury, but a flex option if he plays. Mm-hmm. Edwards and Ruggs are most likely out. Josh Jacobs and Waller are locked in. Anybody else? Maybe Nelson Aguilar.
Don't even say.
He said it this time.
Or Hunter Renfrow. Like if you're desperate flexes just to pick somebody up, maybe like DraftKings lineups or Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy lineups.
Yeah, Thrive Fantasy.
Other than that,
lock them in.
Let's just pick this game. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills.
All right, Matt.
Dollar bill, y'all.
All right. I was thinking Matt was going to think about the Raiders, but
Why would I ever take the Raiders?
they were hot the first 2 weeks, but I think they come back down to earth these.
I mean, the Bills have been hot all season. So
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, Eagles at the 49ers. The Eagles look like crap. They
it's
look
a
awful.
dumpster
They're playing
fire
bad.
over in Philadelphia.
I think we're all benching Wentz as a quarterback option.
Sadly.
49ers defense, even though they are banged up, I'm still not confident in him putting up some big numbers, even though he had a pretty good game last week for fantasy purposes. Sanders and Ertz, probably the only two Eagles you're starting aside from Greg Ward. Did you guys rank Greg Ward this week after picking him up from waivers?
I did not.
Did not.
I do think he's
Outside of my top 40.
Yeah, he is. I mean, if like we always use the word desperate, we use a different word. I don't know what that is right now.
If you're
but
in need.
yeah,
If you're in need.
and you like want to be cute, you feeling sexy this week, put Greg Ward in there.
I'm
could have a
feeling
good
sexy
game.
every week. I'm starting Greg Ward.
No Richard Sherman, remember that. So their defense is just as banged up, if not more.
Also, Wentz may not see as much pressure as he's gotten because Nick Bosa is out as well.
Yeah, and Solomon Thomas. Yeah.
Yep.
They might be all right this week.
Yeah,
We'll see.
that's
It might be all right. I mean,
win
is
number
this the
one,
week the
prime
Eagles
time.
win.
but
Prime time.
as for Greg Ward, I got him and Djax like at the same spot in 50. And if Djax plays, I like him more. If Djax doesn't play, I like Ward more. On the other side of the ball, Nick Mullins is playing. Is maybe a desperation play. No, not really. Monitor Debo Samuel. He is back at practice this week. Doesn't look like they're going to play him this week. They don't want to rush it. It looks like week 5 is the target week. If you have him or if someone dropped him in your league, pick him up. I still think he's going to be good, especially when Jimmy G comes back too. He was his go-to guy last year.
Brandon
George,
Ayuk.
George, Brandon Ayuk, definitely a flyer option. It's worth a pickup, maybe not worth a start until you see a little bit more. He might end up on being covered by Slay this game just because of such a lack of wide receivers.
He had a touchdown run last week, 21 points.
Yeah, he did have a big week. I do like Ayuk's upside. Kittle should be back. So did you guys rank him inside your top 3?
Of course. If he's playing, he's top 3 every week.
Yeah, I got him at 2. Tyler Higbee had 3 touchdowns against this Eagles team. So if Kittle's playing, he might have 5. We'll see.
We have no linebackers.
Yeah. And for the 49ers running backs, it's pretty much if Mostert plays, you're starting him. If McKinnon plays, McKinnon and Wilson Jr. are options. I would still prefer McKinnon. If McKinnon and Mostert are out, you're starting Jeff Wilson Jr. If any.
I'm considering it.
I'm considering starting him. All right, let's pick this one. Eagles at Niners.
Go Eagles.
Bias intended. I'm taking the Birds.
They have
again.
to win.
They have to win. I think the Eagles end up finally getting a win this week.
0-2 does look better than 0-3. Well, 0-2-1. But
it's about to be 0-3-1 because we are not beating the 49ers. I'm sorry.
All right, Matt, taking the 49ers. Let's keep this thing moving. We are approaching Thursday night football.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Approaching Thursday night football, so we got 2 games to get through left. Falcons at Packers, probably the shootout of the week. Whoever the Falcons play ends up being the major shootout of the week.
And they end up losing in a comeback victory to the opposing team.
The defense comes out the second half for the opposing team.
Yeah. For this game, Matt Ryan hopefully should bounce back after the Bears defense kind of held him in check. The Packers secondary has struggled. They let up 31 to Drew Brees last week without Michael Thomas. Obviously, most of that was Kamara, but Matt Ryan, you guys have him back in your top 10s?
I think he'll always be at
number 10.
Top 10
same.
for me until some defense decides to hold him to less than 25 points.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's playing like the Chargers or maybe the Ravens, Colts even, Sean's in love with the Colts defense. Those are some pretty top tier defenses.
Yeah, but he also has good ass weapons.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm with
So
you.
like it's gonna be hard for him not to score.
That's
Well,
true. That's true.
Ridley's locked in. Monitor Julio and Gage their status. Make sure to see if they're practicing, and especially Friday practice. This actually is a Monday night game, so Saturday practice for these guys. Monitor that one. See if they're practicing. Hopefully that helps Julio and Gage get back on the field with that extra day. And Todd Gurley, we discussed him earlier. We are maybe a little bit nervous about him. Did you guys rank him inside your top 25 still?
I did.
Yeah,
I ranked
I have
him
him
at
at 21.
23.
Yeah, I'm 23 too. I think he's still an RB2 option, just a little bit nervous.
He had a good game last week.
Yeah, he did find the end zone. If Gurley finds the end zone, he's going to have a good game.
Mhm.
We're getting close to this amazing Thursday night football game.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to watch the Broncos defense.
Yeah, that's about it. Maybe.
Says no one ever.
Said me.
All right. On the other side of the ball, Aaron Rodgers, bad man, locked back in as a top 7-8 quarterback. Where do you guys have him?
I'm at 7. I'm sorry, Rogers. I doubted you at the beginning of the season. I thought he fell off.
Yeah, I doubted him too. I got him at 6. Atlanta's secondary is putrid.
Number
Aaron Rodgers is locked in.
5. Number 5 with Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I'm with you.
If
Devontae
somehow
Adams.
Devontae Adams does not play, I might bump him down like 1 or 2 spots, but not too much. He proved he could do it last week against the Saints when Devontae Adams was out, and he still threw for, I believe, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. I got Adams as my wide receiver 1 if he plays this week. Falcon secondary is that bad.
I agree with you.
So I'm confident.
Actually,
in
I
him.
have D-Hop at number 1 because D-Hop has been electric.
He's good too. Definitely
He's great.
splitting hairs. But I like Adams a lot this week if he plays. If not, start Lazard. He's actually 11th on the season, even with Devontae Adams playing some of these games. So he's
That
been
man
putting up
is
some decent
good.
numbers. Huge game last week. Let's pick this one. Falcons or Packers?
Packers.
Take
Yeah.
the Falcons.
I'm taking the Packers, man. Relax. Don't come at me.
Why? Why can't you be different?
All right, last game here. Delayed game. Looking like Monday
Let's
night,
hope it happens.
possibly Tuesday night. Let's hope it's not a
I'm
bye
rooting
week.
for Tuesday.
Let's hope for
Because
like week
Tuesdays
8.
suck, and if there's football on Tuesday,
Look, I'm
I'll
happy
be
about that,
happy.
but that still kind of messes things up. I'm still hoping for Monday just to keep it in check, not have to move another game next week. Just keep it normal. Double Monday night. I'm cool with it.
so wait, if that game happens Tuesday, it happens.
I don't
next
know if
week?
they'll end up pushing something back because of
All
the
right, let's go
disadvantage.
Monday.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully this game does not
is
get
weird.
canceled.
This is fucking weird.
It's weird. Let's just keep our fingers crossed COVID does not ruin the season. Knock on wood, everybody, whatever superstitions you may have. Big Ben has looked super consistent. Did you guys move him to your top 10 after 3 consistent weeks?
Give me one more week. I have him at 11.
Yeah, I got him at 12. I think he's a starter, but
You
If
stop copying me.
If Deontay Johnson's out, that hurts a little bit. Eric Ebron did break out this game. He had a touchdown finally.
yeah, skinny Ebron. We've been waiting for it. He's put up a touchdown. I like Ebron as well moving forward as a decent option. Just monitor Deontay Johnson's injury. You won't know until Friday. That's when he's possible to come back from the concussion protocol. But obviously, Juju Smith-Schuster will be locked in either way. James Conner has looked good. I think he's pretty much solidified himself as a solid RB2 for where you most likely
And it's crazy
drafted him.
because we were doubting him after that week 1 when he was not on the field at all. Didn't know if it was
Wasn't.
injury or bench, but
It must have just been the injury because we saw Benny Snell come in and came back in week 2 and played well. So not doubting Connor right now. Onto the other side of the ball. Tanny had a pretty bad week last week. Are you guys giving Tannehill another chance or you just want to see it again before even considering starting him?
I want
Yeah.
to see AJ Brown back in the lineup.
Yeah, I want to see that too. I'm with you on that one.
Because as long as AJ Brown isn't there, I don't know how much I trust Tanny. Because you can't really trust. I mean, the most trustworthy pass catcher with AJ Brown out is Jonnu Smith.
or Humphreys.
It's debatable. I mean,
Or
you
Corey
didn't,
Davis.
you didn't start him last week.
Yeah.
You
we're
started Larry Fick.
We actually saw Khalif Raymond get involved a lot. He had a couple bombs last week. So just
I forgot about everybody loves Raymond.
yeah, I'm not I'm not too happy about their pass catchers. I think Jonnu Smith's pretty much locked in though. I think he's like second right now among tight ends in points. So you got to keep rolling him out there. If AJ Brown is still out, it just stinks for people that have drafted him. That's a tough loss. Hopefully he can be back as soon as possible.
I hope so.
The last person to talk about here, obviously Derrick Henry. Did you guys downgrade him any for this stout Steelers defense?
I mean, a little bit. I still
Yeah, I
have him
have him
inside
at
my top 10.
7.
I
Yeah, I
have
got
him
him at-
number 9.
I got him at 9 as well. I would probably have him around top 6 most weeks. So I downgraded him a little bit. You're obviously starting him. You can't bench him.
Yeah.
Will most likely find the end
The
zone.
reigning rushing champ, you don't bench unless they're hurt.
Yep. Pick them for this one. Steelers at the Titans if it plays.
Steelers.
Well, I mean, it's going to play at some point. We'll probably be picking this game week 7 if they push it back that far.
Might change my pick at that point, but I'm taking the Steelers.
Yeah,
That's true. Just shit happens. Poop
All right.
happens.
Breakout this week. Who are your guys' breakouts before we get into this Thursday night football? I'm going to go last here. So, Q, I'll let you start us off.
So we talked about him in the last pod as being someone to buy low, but he still has opportunity. He has the talent. I'm going Todd Gurley. They're playing the 30th ranked run defense, and we saw Gurley's no Kamara. We saw what Kamara did against the defense, though. Let's hope that he gets more than 3 receptions, which is what he has on the season in this pass-heavy offense, one of the pass-heaviest in the league. But yeah, I think you're feeling good starting Gurley on Monday night. If Julio's out, it could help. It didn't really help him much last week, but you're feeling good starting Gurley, top 25 running back.
Yep, I'm with you. I think Todd Gurley could find that 20-point performance that we've been looking for. Matt, who was your breakout? Someone special?
Breakout, he's actually about to play, and that's Jerry Jeudy. He has a very favorable matchup tonight against the New York Jets, who are absolute garbage. And I mean, he hasn't scored a touchdown yet, but in all 3 weeks, he hasn't had less than 4 catches or less than 50 yards. And I'm pretty sure he's averaging right around 10 fantasy points a game. So, I mean, if he gets a couple more looks and he finds the end zone, I see him having a big game tonight.
That's impressive because he's had a carousel of quarterbacks really within like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been pretty solid. We'll see what Ripien could do tonight. My breakout this week is a super sleeper. Isaiah Wright versus the Ravens. Hear me out. This wide receiver plays for the football team. You probably never heard of him before.
All receivers play for a football team, Sean.
I understand, but this is the football team, the Washington football team.
The greatest football team.
I'm not going to go that far. But the football team is going to have to throw a ton to try and even keep up with the Ravens this game. And I think Isaiah Wright showed that he could get involved last week. He had 4 catches for 24 yards. And I think he's a guy that's a sleeper. He can make big plays happen at college. He played at Temple University. So bias intended. I like Isaiah Wright this week. Super sleeper. If you're looking to play like Thrive Fantasy and you're looking to put somebody in your lineup for super cheap, you could probably get Isaiah Wright for free. And he would put up at least some decent numbers. I like Isaiah Wright this week. Keep an eye on him.
I'm going to go through our previous podcast and count how many times Sean was biased towards either Temple or his own fantasy football team.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let's move into the question and answers. At K_Kelly62, our shout out to Kevin Kelly, asked, start Marquise Brown or T. Higgins this week?
Marquise Brown's safer.
Yeah, I'm still starting Marquise Brown.
I'm starting Marquise Brown. T. Higgins, still too risky for me. I want to see it happen for at least another week before I am considering starting him. I like Hollywood this week. And just to throw out a question out there, I've been a little bit torn on it. I'm still probably going to go with my gut. Who should I start, DJ Chark or Jarvis Landry?
I'd say he has the edge because he's healthier, and you gave me the vibe that he's going to have his breakout game, so I'm feeling it.
I mean, did you trade for Chark just to bench him?
See, that's what I'm scared of. I'm going to put Chark on my bench.
Don't listen to him.
For him. I can't bench. I don't feel like I can bench Darrell Henderson.
I mean, yesterday you did say this has a jar of game written all over it.
Yeah,
so,
I think I'm still going to go Jarvis Landry. Just got to go with my gut, but
yeah, you got to
regretting it. I like DJ Chark.
Your gut is right 90% of the time.
All right, Q. Let's get in your joke of the week before Thursday Night Football starts.
I'm sure everybody's dying for this game, but this joke may be better. Hopefully, I don't know if the game might cause more laughs than me. What did the one plate say to his friend? What did the one plate say to his friend? Tonight, dinner's on me.
All right, that was pretty good.
Q. I like that one. That was a pretty good one.
Remember, Matt was supposed to have a joke?
Yeah, I do remember Matt was supposed to have a joke. Whoa, Matt. I thought we promised laughs.
Me and Q went halves on that joke. I got you next week.
All right, Matt, you better come with a joke next week to compete with Q.
Yo, I
need it.
promise. I got you.
I need it. All
I'm
right.
a man of my word.
Your word was today, but we'll keep
That was your word.
Well, I mentioned it. You said it. You kind of didn't say you weren't going to do it, so I was ready for it, and you didn't bring it. Anyways, let's get out of here. Thursday Night Football is about to start. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on all social medias. ! Discord in the chat to join with us, chat with us, ask any questions, whatever. Hit that up. Other than that, check out the website. We'll have articles this week, such as Smash or Pass, who you're starting this week. I think that's about it. It's a wrap, guys. Peace out.